Hey everybody, welcome to Behind the Mirror. I'm your host today, Keith Posehn, CEO here at Zors, and today I got the team and we're going to talk about AI in the affiliate space and how it's changing everything.
Keith, your voice cracked there. Were you at a conference earlier this week?
Yes. How do you tell? Affiliate Summit East. Oh yes. Oh, yeah. My voice.
I was doling out cough drops for a couple
you
days.
You were the lifesaver. Yes, yeah. The cough drop. Oh geez, you're the patron saint of cough drops. Let's go with that.
There's a business there, guys. You go to these conferences, you sell high quality cough drops, Manuka honey. You're gonna make some money
it's an
there.
app. It's an app called Dropper. You just go in there, you tap on it, and it takes your location. Someone walks up 30 seconds later and hands you a cough drop. There we go. Gig economy at work. Anyway,
hey,
so we've got Dafra today for the last two episodes with Dafra. She's about to go to a new opportunity, but we got two more with her as time of recording here. And so super excited. Glad to have you here. You've had some interesting stuff as a part of your search come up around AI. So let's start with that. What did you find out?
Well, first of all, hi, everybody. It's been a minute. Yes, last two episodes, let's just make those count.
Absolutely.
To miss everyone because, as this has just been so much fun. Like, it's just enjoyable. It's just us sitting and just chatting as friends. But throughout all the conversations I've had, there's a couple of questions that just kept coming back. And one especially that I would like to chat about a little bit today is, how does AI improve marketing workflows? And that question was asked to me by different people, like in different kind of situations. And it got me thinking. There's definitely a lot of processes that are ripe for disruption. I mean, this is an overused expression, right? Fine. But at the end of the day, it exists for a reason. There's a lot of processes that are just ready to be owned by AI and just ready to become shorter, ready to be faster, and just to be easier for organizations to use. So throughout the chats that I've had, I identified a couple and, just tried to figure out how using LLMs or even different kinds of tools would actually make things much easier on organizations or much faster, and would just be force multipliers in general for either marketing managers or even entire departments. So I just wanted to chat about that a little bit with you guys today. I know that there's many things that we can cover, but I would love to hear your thoughts on different processes that you think are ready just to be part of something that would be like AI, that would be built around it to make it faster.
Yeah, and that's with our our own product around partner acquisition and development. That's one, but there's other places like analytics too. So there's a ton of stuff. Lynn, what are you thinking?
Yeah, almost every aspect of affiliate marketing, referral marketing, probably a little bit later, but affiliate marketing, it feels like so many processes can be sped up. But I think we need to decouple, and I think we're going to get there. You've got these processes, but then you need the oversight or context. Context matters. And if you're a newer person to the industry and you don't understand sort of the nuances or the big players, you're gonna miss or make mistakes. These AI tools are gonna make a lot of mistakes, and you need to be able to call them out quickly so that you don't go down a rabbit hole or a pathway that makes it more expensive for you to get out. But let's kind of punt that for a second here. Yeah. Around processes, we can just kind of go through the life cycle of an affiliate program. So you're launching a program, probably not a ton of AI that can kind of help there, because you need a platform, you need to go to market, and you need someone to kind of strategize, kind of figure out the best way to do that. What's the first thing you need to do? Probably, Dafra, it's recruitment. Is that
recruitment? Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, we have some thoughts about this, I know, but when you think about the recruitment process for a program, you guys know, I mean, we all have a particular passion about recruitment because it's tough. It's hard. It takes a really long time. And as a result, it's a process that is sometimes overlooked by organizations and agencies alike because it's difficult, right? And when you have a program that you're already running and you have a few people that bring in a certain amount of revenue/units per month, sometimes it's a little tough just to step away from the relationship management to actually go recruit because recruitment takes a long time. It's like a slow burn. That's it. If recruitment could be faster, and if companies could actually get access to affiliates that would make sense for them, or partners that would be able to unlock some things that would be different, I definitely think that things would be so much better because some partners that are worthwhile would actually emerge on different marketplaces and would be able to bring value to organizations. So I will say that as far as I'm concerned, that's one of the processes that's the most ripe for disruption right now because it's just so many different steps. It's so involved. And being able to have a tool that would actually automate a lot of this would be great.
Yeah, and I think it's another one too is like, when you look at these two, you brought it up before, context also matters. And so, a friend of ours, Mike Harp, who we worked with before, he and I were talking about this in relation to AI. And what we came up with is a concept of as a context of record. And context of record is like essential context around what is it that matters in this case for like an affiliate program, for example. So when we think of like go-to-market strategies, like the other major component of a program launch and build out that we have to develop for a client. And part of it is like, what's the context here? Like, what does the client really need? Like, what is important to them? What are their priorities? How do they need to go to market? What are their customers like? These are all sets of context that you could set an LLM loose against the market and say, go find me potential partners for this product. But that's nowhere near as good as really informing that context that then applies in many situations and many AI related workflows. So not just partner recruitment, but analytics, creative, like compliance, any of these things you might want to deploy AI against. It needs that kind of context of record through which to understand what really matters in that case.
Small thing to add. I think I have spoken about a couple of these organizations before, but when you think about Coach that was just able to reinvent itself through partnership marketing, or when you think about a company like Fenty Beauty that was actually able to reach certain heights that were not reached by any makeup organization before. I mean, number one, because of their inclusivity, but also because of the way that they leverage influencer marketing. Affiliate is not a one-size-fits-all. That's exactly what you're saying, right? Context matters. Yeah. That said, even if context matters, sometimes you can decide to take a novel approach with your program. It's not a one-size-fits-all. If agency A or internal team A had been in charge of affiliate marketing at Fenty, maybe the results would have been different from the results that we have today. Therefore, I actually think that what we're going to see in our future is that we're going to see some tools that are going to help you really figure out what really is the strategy that you should be going after, actually, because they're going to be able to kind of take cues from your competitors or maybe from people that you want to emulate.
Yeah.
So maybe the kind of product that you have is a product that is right now just being really like pushed by, I don't know, like maybe like search or like, comparison tools or something like that. And maybe eventually you're going to realize that your product would actually be better pushed by influencers or like better pushed by a different kind of vertical, like a different strategy as far as partnership marketing. So I do think that eventually we're actually going to see some AI tools that are going to help people get all these verticals, like just get these verticals right. So sure, there's going to be overarching recruitment AI tools, but I think that there's going to be like even more intelligence that's going to be unlocked about we can recruit, but then who are we going to recruit? How are we going to recruit them and how are you going to empower them? So I think that that is probably like the next frontier after we actually unlock recruitment AI tools in general.
Yeah, I agree. Like these are decisions that a team has to make and an AI tool will never be able to do that. I was going to segue now to like setting up your new program. Like what are your rules? What are your commissions? Again, you can use AI to research and help you see what your competitors are doing, and that'll speed it up quite a bit. But then it's about implementing this decision and then launching your program. Keith, what do you want to say about that?
It's an interesting one. Like we talked earlier about like how AI is really democratizing or making a lot of things more accessible, but I think it also causes an inverse in some instances where scale also gives an advantage. So, for example, like when talking about like fraud and compliance in affiliate programs, an AI that is set up by a first-time affiliate program builder is going to be fundamentally less capable than an AI that's informed by an agency or a platform with 1,000 or tens of thousands of accounts and history that it can look at to find the context and find the flags for fraud and to be better informed. So to a degree, it's that accessibility, that information. And I mean, I wonder if there's almost going to be a market for very specific data sets around some of these problems. So there's a market to say, hey, can you create an LLM that informs like fraud decisions in affiliate marketing, or at least a context data set that then makes it possible for someone to get the advantages of someone else who may have thousands of programs to draw from to inform how they should structure their program, to your point, Lim, to account for these things. Because it's an interesting one, because I don't think we talked about this specifically, but this is the idea coming to me now is, when we want to launch a program, one of the key values that we bring to a client is a deep understanding of their product and a deep understanding of the industry that's difficult or impossible to replicate. That's one of our advantages in the market. AI is making a lot of that context awareness or aggregation of that cumulative knowledge in certain areas available more rapidly. But it started with the broader knowledge of humanity in a way condensed into something. But there is applications of that need to happen that get into a tighter focus. And I wonder how that's going to get solved. I don't know that I have a good answer for that yet.
There's still a lot of things that are just open-ended, and that's fine, because I know that when I sit down and think about it, sometimes I just go ahead and I hit a wall and I'm thinking, well, I just don't have the answer for that right now. And there's just a lot of things that are still open-ended. And that's
And the open-ended provides interesting opportunities because it's all things where there's value in the market right now to go capture. And the question is like how? And it has made it easier to go realize value, at least to start realizing value in the industry.
Yeah. So, yeah.
There are other areas.
Next.
Oh, go ahead, Dafra.
No, go ahead. Like I was saying.
There are other areas that could be ripe for AI automation, like we onboarding. Like there's a lot of tasks that are replicable, and the way that we write messages, creative copy to reach out to your affiliates, get them to respond when they respond, how you negotiate, like these things can be automated or at least sped up with an AI or like an agentic type of tool. So once you got your affiliate set, you launch, you have conversions, you have data. I think the next step is you can get it today. You download a report full of your clicks, conversions, costs, and AI can analyze your data set faster than you can probably, which is going to speed things up. But that oversight, that context is going to matter like even more.
Yeah, it's one where too, like the price of an AI doing something rogue. Like I don't know if everyone saw what happened with Replit. That was nuts. Like it just going off the rails and doing things. That's one where, it's a governance, it's a context awareness and a governance to be able to say, hey, can we make sure that the agent is on rails and very specific about what it can and cannot do? And there's a system to flag certain things and that it flags when appropriate too. How to make sure that it maybe defaults to no, so that you don't ever get an unintentional yes or a rogue yes in a workflow that, no, we should never have accepted that affiliate. It's the kind of things like, how do you create that system of governance? I think that's a new area where services are going to go because that knowledge and understanding is critical to it. So, the focus is less on the tactical doing in the future here and a lot more of the knowing how the doing needs to be done and how to build on top of that. And that, again, provides opportunities for productization too, where, again, you're using that cumulative knowledge and ability to create a workflow that is far more reliable, maybe less human-centric than before, still some human centricity, but is also reliable enough that it's the value that's realized from the automation far outweighs the costs of the times that it's wrong or the human cost that's left in managing or governing the system.
I will say also that, again, coming back to what Lim said, oversight. I would love to see in my career for AI to get to a point where we're not just looking at trends and we're not just looking at the actual data. We're actually going a step further and explaining what that data means as a part of a whole data of a performance organization. So let's just assume that we launched partner A, and partner A, as far as conversions, is doing okay. They're doing fine. They're not great. They're not stellar. But as we actually take a look at the overall marketing organization, all things equal, there's nothing measures. There's no major seasonality. There's no TV running, or again, other things equal. We realize that there's something that is happening. Maybe people are converting faster, or maybe they're converting better. Maybe they're purchasing a certain SKU, or maybe we just see that there's something that is happening overall. And then the only thing that we can see as a difference is that we launched that partner. As of right now, it's hard for business intelligence to pick up on such trends. Mm-hmm. It's not impossible, but it's hard for business intelligence to pick up on such trends. And then, as much as organizations want to say that they're integrated, you sometimes observe in performance marketing organizations, everybody's still focused on their channel. You do have those Monday, at Uber, our meeting was on Mondays, but you do have those Monday meetings where everybody sits down and chats a little bit. And maybe those are the times where you're actually able to exchange a little bit of information. Or you have those like large reports that everybody works on. And then by perusing the report, you may be able to say, hey, like this is the week I launched partner A. Maybe actually they're having an impact here and there. But the data exchange sometimes is not clean enough, or it's not systematic enough that you would actually be able to pick up on a trend like this. I would like in my career lifetime to be able to see a BI tool that is powered by AI that would be able to say, hey, actually, this is the trend that we're seeing after this partner was launched. And we're seeing that trend on all of the channels. That is not something that exists as of today. I think it will exist soon. It just doesn't. The closest that so far we have come to that is, I would say, is Impact, because Impact is actually able to figure out like the path of the user, mm-hmm. and to say that, hey, that affiliate actually did influence that user, even though they were actually not responsible for the final conversion. They have been influencing the path of many users, and they should be getting credit. But we're still in the affiliate world or partnership world. We're still in a box. When you want to take a look at the overall performance marketing engine, that's not something that exists just yet, and it should. And in this case, I'm talking with the partnership lens, of course. But no, that lens exists. Like there's other things. It's not just partnerships. Maybe we launch a very obscure channel here and there, but then actually that channel has a little bit of a halo effect. Mm-hmm. That is lost right now in the way that things are being measured. And I think that us actually being able to see that would be amazing.
Yeah. From that, it also, I wonder if this is a good time to segue to what you also saw when you were doing a lot of the research with these companies you were talking to. When you looked at traffic sources,
yes,
on SimilarWeb and other places, like top N being ChatGPT, Cloud, like Claude, not Cloud, Claude, and other AIs here. I'm like, it's very, very interesting because if the and we don't know. To your point earlier, we don't know who's it using as a basis for its recommendation that sends someone somewhere. Like, so there's a whole step we can't see.
Exactly. You don't know what the prompt was. You don't know what the person asked for. You have no clue. And you have no clue. And somehow you know that you were recommended, and somehow you know that they ended up on your page. You don't know what they're looking for. You have no idea, because as of today, it's a black box. It's not something that we can have access to. Mm-hmm. So then it begs to so many questions. Number one, first of all, how can you make sure that as an organization that you're picked up by these LLMs and that you are recommended? Well, one way you can do it, or at least, again, this is all theory right now because all these things are still developing as of today. Maybe by the time this episode drops, something crazy will have happened. But
might have happened, yeah.
I know.
Within 2 weeks.
We have no idea. But as of today, the best thing that we at least can assume that an organization can do is just to be present on a lot of different sources with people saying the same thing, or at least with people saying different parts of a whole. And with an LLM being able to pick things up and say, okay, well, based on X amount of sources, I can see that this product does A, B, C, D. Therefore, if I were to rank the different products that do something similar, this is what I should rank. And then this one is first because A, B, C, D. Therefore, it's a really interesting situation where you being present on partner sites become extremely important, because it means that these other people actually being able to promote you and being able to say things about your product that only you saying would not be enough. Like if an organization says something, it's just them. And of course, they're talking about themselves, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like you cannot. That's just one source, really. It doesn't matter how many blog posts you have. It's still one source coming from one place. So the more information and more disseminated your information is on the internet, the better for you. But then at that point, it means that still GPT is going to be the referrer.
Yep. That's a question.
And that begs the question: what happens to the partner in that situation? Because even though they're the ones who provided this is like the bedrock of where the information is coming from. But when you take a look at where the traffic sources are, you can only see GPT. Now what?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's an existential question for affiliate in a way, because if you're informing these LLMs in a way that's getting the word out about you and maybe improving your AEO overall, your visibility inside of all these models. But then the flip side is all the partners, like what happens to them? Where's the source? Are they being referenced? And there's no easy answer. Should credit be shared? Well, okay. Well, do you trust, a major open AI or a major AI platform, a major open AI, to go ahead and tell you that, oh yeah, cool. Well, we recommended this and we pulled 30% of our source was NerdWallet, 10% was Capital One, and so on and so forth. Is that a system that credit could be given out? It's technically it's public domain information. And so that it gets really tricky. Like, what happens here?
Happen one day, though. Like not to add another segue, because that's a whole other episode. Is that going to happen one day? Are we going to be in a space one day where GPT is going to be like, or where we're actually going to be able to take a look at data from GPT and be like, okay, well, all of the people who came on our website actually were referred by GPT, but GPT took 30% of their information from website A, B, C, D, allowing you to see what your sources are.
Yeah. That's true. And you can see like the AI overview to a degree in Google. When you do a search, it'll show you kind of like the references and links. And so the question here is, what will OpenAI do, and what will Claude do? But it also, like, OpenAI just released, like, I don't know if you saw yesterday as a recording here, open source two of the key models. So O3 effectively was open sourced, which I already got on my device here, ready to go ahead and like do it locally. So it's amazing, like the level here that's happening. But then the question is like, what's how do we like reconcile this? And so I think that there's some, and that maybe even opens another question, which is, are people going to look at one single AI that they want to do things through, or is it going to be a question of like, well, somebody has a much better financial question AI and is an actual standalone one that is trained on that? Is there a world in which these fragment into different sources that are much more authoritative, or do we see consolidation into just a few major players that effectively steer the direction AI is going overall? I wonder about that too. There's no easy answers yet, and it's moving so fast. And
another question, again, this is all question marks, okay? And another question would be, there's open source, like if organizations actually can tell what goes into the makeup of the answers that refer them, then does that mean that they're actually able to figure out which kind of partners they should work with, if those are the partners and that's where the information is being picked up from? So question marks.
And if you ask the question about a competitor and you see all the partners that show up, it's going to make competitive intelligence very, very interesting, very fast. Like, where did you get your answer from and why? That would be very interesting to see.
Yeah. One last thing is that and the thing is that there's not a lot of tools that do this. And the one tool that does this, I always forget their name. You will know. As I talk, you're probably going to be able to fill in the blanks. Governance is going to become, obviously, based on everything that we have said, governance is going to become more important than ever when we think about how affiliates actually go to market and how they actually talk about certain products. Because an LLM is an LLM. It's not a person. It means that they just pick up information that they have, and then they pick up the most plausible information and they display that. Yep. And if information on the internet is wrong, they're going to display whatever information is going to go into the model. Yes.
Or if the information has a legal implication. So people are maybe not remember, but we remember from Uber, were you driving for Uber or driving with Uber? And with was the key word, but what if an LLM says driving for, and then, oh, wait a second, you said driving for. Well, Uber didn't decide that. It's interesting. Who's to blame if the LLM misinterprets it?
And at that point, it becomes extremely important, especially like think about a financial organization. You cannot have the wrong APR anywhere. That's very serious.
That's very true. Yes.
Or, like in the case of Uber, like that one word made a really big difference. Or there's a lot of regulated industries where it's going to become very important to actually have good governance.
Probably some industries are going to be a lot slower than others.
Yeah. And it may change. Some industries may speed up. Some industries may get slow. Some may have more governance. Some may find less overhead in governance. I think it's going to be, disruption is such an overused term, but I think is absolutely apt in this case.
I'm so sorry. I got the name. Performline. Performline is the only organization that we know that decided that they were actually going to focus on the governance side of things as far as partners were concerned. So maybe they have some competitors these days. Again, we talk about all of the people that we have worked with. We're completely agnostic. But Performline was the only organization that we work with that had a tool called the Kraken that was actually able, I still don't know why they named it the Kraken, that was able to
I remember that now.
crawl websites and then to figure out like whether people said the right thing. And in case they didn't, to send cease and desist notices and just overall to work with people. That was a long time ago. And my guess is that they are significantly more sophisticated today, or maybe there's competitors. But what we're discussing is that you cannot go to market these days without a lot of people talking about your product, because that's where the LLMs are going to pick up the information. That said, governance is going to be important. So it's impossible, or at least maybe not a good idea for you to bypass partners. But that said, the work with partners and the collaboration is going to have to be stronger so they can have the right information on their website. Again, still unfolding. We're just observing what the market is doing.
Yep. I think the thing is that it's a hell of a ride right now, but it's so filled with opportunities as well.
Yes.
So it's about taking advantage of every opportunity because we're seeing such change so fast. And the barrier to entry has dropped further yet again. And the barrier to success in some places has dropped in ways that people don't understand or anticipate yet.
Yeah.
And so whoever steps through and takes those, I think is going to really end up dominating the industry in ways that we have not yet seen or understood.
There's some verticals that are going to appear. Like there's some actual jobs or some actual verticals that are going to appear where companies are going to be able to establish themselves quickly.
Indeed, they will.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Dafra. Great.
Course.
We got one more with you. We're going to make them count, but really appreciate having you on today.
Of course.
Again, we had today, it was Dafra, our soon to depart head of strategy, but we're going to miss her terribly, but get her back on here as many other times as we can, and Lim Vong, our head of ops, and myself, the CEO here at Zors. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. As a business, we do referral programs and we audit affiliate programs and do a whole ton of other things for clients. And if you are seeing your referral or affiliate programs not hitting 10% or more of your top line, you need to give us a call because something's wrong and we want to help you hit that. We want to help you fix that. So we're here to help. Give us a call. hello@zorz.com, and we will catch you all next week.